ManGroves, an evaluation of community-based resource management in the Philippines.
Hi, my name is Groves. I live in the Philippines. This is my home. My friends and I, we are a special kind of tree that lives life on the edge, with one foot on the land and one foot in the water. We have many abilities. We can store lots of carbon, provide nursery habitats for fish, and even protect coastlines. However, humans nearby often exploit us for their self-interest, so more and more of us are dying out. My friends and I have been replaced by shrimp ponds, villages, or burnt up by fires.
This is also known as the tragedy of the commons, first introduced by Hardin, who argues that common pool resources, which are non-excludable and rivalrous, are often overconsumed and eventually depleted. This is because individuals act independently and rationally according to self-interest instead of group interest. However, Ostrom has rebutted Hardin's argument of the tragedy of the commons, arguing that trust and reciprocity in institutionalized small communities make it possible for the commons to be sustainably governed. This governance plays out in the Philippines in the form of community-based resource management of mangrove forests.
They have come together to bring in young new friends to live with us. They also watch our health and protect us from selfish humans who want to continue to destroy us. In turn, we provide them with ecosystem services.
Community-based resource management in Bias Bay engages local communities in the management of protected areas together with the government and the UNDP. Under CBRM, such areas are managed, conserved, and protected, while locals are still able to use these areas as a source of livelihood. CBRM exhibits the principles of sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
However, not all my new friends survived.
Unfortunately, the management of common pool resources through CBRM in the Philippines has been a huge waste of financial and human resources, in some cases due to the implementation of inappropriate interventions. For example, mangrove rehabilitation efforts in these two municipalities have very low mangrove seedling survival rates because the wrong mangrove species were replanted on unsuitable sites. Government efforts to ecologically engineer the restoration of mangroves were often more concerned with attaining global recognition for their efforts and were less concerned with the long-term regrowth of mangrove forests. This is also known as a techno fix, where a quick fix using inappropriate technology creates more problems than it solves. As many communities around mangroves are still living in poverty, environmental conservation efforts for these mangroves are often secondary to their need to survive. In Bias Bay, for example, replanted mangroves are sometimes cleared for a new fish pond if more short-term profits could be earned by foreign companies or local villages. However, in the long term, the mangroves are crucial for sustaining fish and shellfish populations and also act as bioshields for vulnerable coastal communities. This shows the tensions of the poverty-environment nexus, as the villagers rely on the mangroves for resources, yet overuse of the resource results in them being more entrenched in the vicious cycle of poverty.
As you can see, my home is a very complex place where different stakeholders pursue different interests. We are able to provide many ecosystem services, but these different groups of people have to work together to protect my home for us to provide those services in the long term.
A possible solution that has yet to be explored would be payments for ecosystem services, or PES. PES involves a transaction where an undervalued ecosystem service is bought and sold. Ecosystem services include carbon sequestration, maintenance of biodiversity, or protection against natural hazards, all of which are readily supplied by the mangroves in the Philippines.
My friends and I are more than willing to share these services with humans.
However, PES is unable to broker a deal between humans and trees, so it remains up to the Filipino government to establish the appropriate legislations and demarcate the relevant groups of buyers and sellers in order for PES to be successful. Interestingly enough, it seems that the commodification of a previously undervalued natural resource might have the potential to save that very resource from being commodified and sold.